2, 1, and away we go. It's Monday, July the 25th, all day, and off we're running. The Dow opening with a gain of 90 points, 31,900 is the level right there. Most of the Dow 30, more than half of them, are in the green, so we've got some buying going on in the early going this morning. As for the S&P 500, where's that? It is up, but only just a 6-point gain. That's 0.15%. The Nasdaq is virtually, dead flat. It's up 0.04%. How about big tech? As we've been telling you, they all report later on this week. All of them are fractionally higher this Monday morning. Right, Susan's with us. Now, she's not been on vacation, unlike Lauren. Susan's been,
working hard.
She's been working hard.
Good?
Yeah.
A lot of good places.
Why don't you take us through the big tech earnings?
Yeah, so 1/3 of the S&P reporting this week, all the big tech ones. So we're talking about Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google. I'll even throw in the Coca-Colas, the Fords, the GMs. And so far, of the 70% of companies that have reported, or 20% of the S&P has reported, 70% of those have done better than anticipated.
70% done better.
70% so far. I think it's turning out to be a little bit better than anticipated in the earnings season. Now, we have 12 members of the Dow reporting this week, which we'll talk about in just a bit. Analysts say that we are on track for a 5% increase in profits, and that's pretty much all thanks to oil companies with a surge in oil prices. So oil earnings are forecast to be up 250% in this quarter. So if it wasn't for oil, we actually might even see a drop when it comes to profit for much of the S&P companies.
Okay.
That was forecast.
How about Disney?
Yeah.
I think that is the worst performing of the Dow 30 stocks. The worst, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
I think it's about 30% down on the year.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't necessarily call it the worst. I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. But look, Wells Fargo is cutting the Disney price target. They're saying a reset for a recession looming. Still bullish. 130 is the call for the stock in Wells's view. Now, yeah.
So they're saying, we like this. That it's going to be about $130 a share, but it's now at $102 a share.
Right. And they're also talking about a slowdown when it comes to parks as well. But here's the big caveat is streaming. So Disney and other streamers has just got some competition. You had the NFL just announcing this morning its new out-of-region streaming service, NFL Plus, will cost $4.99 a month. Now, I'm not sure if you read the New York Times report yesterday that Apple is in the lead to get the NFL Sunday ticket after DirecTV is giving it up because they can't afford it. So that's going to cost around $2.5 billion plus a year if any of the technology companies step up. So that's $1 billion more than it cost the previous year. And look, I think big tech is playing with different rules. They have deep pockets, and they're really threatening to grab a lot of those sports broadcasting rights away from those traditional linear TV media companies. However, the leagues still want the biggest audiences, so there's a reluctance to take it away from linear TV and broadcasts.
Yeah, but Disney's suffering because of the competition in that area. All right, Snap. Did they get another couple of downgrades?
A bit late, I would say, for Morgan Stanley, because a lot of the Wall Street banks already took it down last week. And they're talking about TikTok competition in a slowing advertising world. And that means Snap's underweight to them. So basically a sell, only worth $8. That's roughly around 20% less than today's stock price. Snap's dismal quarter already has Wall Street bracing for a pretty bad Meta Facebook report card on Wednesday. Also, you have Google, Alphabet reporting on Tuesday. I'll be speaking to the executive, Ruth Porat, CFO, after that Alphabet report card. But I think all indications are that we are in a slowing advertising spend world.
Okay. Tesla. They dumped a lot of their Bitcoin. I know that. Did they lose money?
Yeah, they lost around $170 million or so on their Bitcoin holdings in the first 6 months of this year, but they actually gained $64 million from selling 75% of that stash. So at the end of June, they had around $218 million worth still on their balance sheet. And remember that Tesla bought around $1.5 billion last year. And some positives, some actual company positives, is Tesla announced in that same SEC filing and in different kind of reports here, they're going to spend $8 billion in investments this year on their company, also opening up their EV charging stations across the country. And even GM Mary Barra admitted that Tesla and Musk have the lead when it comes to electric cars.
Okay. Intel, they've announced a deal with, is it
MediaTek. Yeah, that's a Taiwan company. So here's the interesting part. You know, we have that CHIPS Act still on the table, $50 billion worth, right, from D.C. Now, that's still to be debated. Meantime, look at what Intel is turning into. They're becoming an outsourced chip manufacturer instead of an outright chip producer where they design, produce, make their own chips. So that's a transition in their company, given that they look, I think the business, as we know, is lagging behind the NVIDIAs, AMDs, and TSMCs over in Taiwan. So they're trying to remodel their business. And in the future, if they're going to make the chips here in America, can you imagine what that means for manufacturing? They already have a $20 billion investment in Ohio in some fab plants that they're looking to build.
So it would be a big deal for American manufacturing
to bring chips
in America.
Back to America onto U.S. soil. I think that's an interesting transition we're in.
Pity that the stock is only at $38 a share. Kind of depressed, actually. But they go.
Remember the days when it was in the 140s?
I remember. Yeah, I remember that well, sure. Apple, am I right in saying that Apple, for the first time, is offering discounts to shoppers in China?
I don't think it's the first time, but it's rare. I think I've seen that before previously.
Are all products discounted?
No, just the top tier iPhones. So but it's rare in between upgrade and intro cycles, right? Between the iPhone 13 and the upcoming iPhone 14. So you're getting 4 days of discount on the top tier phones. That's up to $89 off those iPhone 13 Pros between July 29th, August 1st. Also, some certain AirPods, Apple Watch models are part of this. And what this tells me is there are concerns, first of all, about a weakening Chinese economy and consumer, which is their second largest market, but also about pricing. Can you imagine what the iPhone 14 is going to be priced at? With this, in this high inflationary environment, I don't think they're going to be able to raise prices this year.
When does the 14 come out?
So they haven't made any announcements, but we're just used to an intro in the fall, usually in September.
Okay, it's September it is. We're waiting for that. Thanks very much, Susan. Check the big board. We're in business now for 6-7 minutes, and we're down 30 points. How about the Dow winners? There are some winners, and we're going to show them to you. Here we go. On your screens, United Health, Travelers, Amgen, Walgreen Boots. Dow winners, also Dow Inc. is in there. Not many big names. Travelers, these are more Dow, S&P winners. SBB, Financial, McKesson, Intuitive, Berkeley, Freeport, McMoran. I don't see big names splashed across your screen. Intuitive, Alphabet, there you go. They're up 1% nicely. Netflix is up there, almost 1% higher. And Google, yeah, up 80 cents. There you go.